Welcome back. We have private investor Vijay Kedia, who is now joining us with his perspective on the markets, the budget. Mr. Kedia, great to have you with us here. Good to see you again. The budget hump is behind us now, and I think we can, sigh. There's relief that it is behind. I'm not sure what it does. What does it do, according to you, Mr. Kedia, for markets? Does it do anything at all? Has your view changed, perspective changed in any which way?
No, nothing, Prashant. Nothing has changed. I think budget has come, budget has gone. And a lot of people, mainly into stock market, is talking about all these short-term and long-term capital gain tax. In my view, I had thought that it is bound to come, and it is not going to change anything. I will tell you one thing regarding this long-term capital gain tax, because that is now the topic, hot topic. You know, as I always say, you see, Prashant, there is working hours, and there is a happy hour, and there is hangover hour. So whatever happening in this market is the hangover hour. Okay, so it is the best time that you can say your man ka baat. You know, so this is what this FM has been giving us hint for last 2-3 years, that ultimately they will bring all these financial assets in one bracket. So this is the best time to do this.
Is it an indication from them कि अब थोड़ी अति हो गई है कि आप थोड़ा थम जाइए, or would you read it like, because now we are also, I was just talking about something more coming from SEBI that is still pending, but that is on the F&O side, indications are that something will happen because there is a committee on which has been formed, and we reported on this yesterday. So essentially authorities are also kind of not taking a view on the market per se, but maybe that things are very, very good. So they'll be able to absorb higher taxation.
So it is not because things are very good. I think because they think that things are very bad. So what we call it good from the liquidity perspective or from the volume perspective may not be good for the health of the market. Because all these new people are coming. If you like, SEBI has constantly saying this for last many months, that 90% are traders and they lose money. 99% are traders and they lose money. SEBI doesn't want all this crisis. So that is why they are bringing some therapy so that this crisis can be averted. So of course, I also feel I will agree to this, that now SEBI's something change in some composition or something, whatever it is going to come very soon. But that is good for the market, Prashant. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good for the market. Curbing speculation will be good for the market. So you're on the same side as some of the regulators. Get that, Vijayji. But, I want to draw your attention to the other piece, and that for me is perhaps the bigger debate. The general financialization of savings in the country, right? And we saw mention in the economic survey. Rarely before has a government document like the economic survey spoken so extensively about how over-financialization is a threat. It ended really badly in the West, and we had the financial crisis, etc. Just your thoughts on that. I mean, the fact is, look at how quickly dips are getting bought. Election result day, dekhiye kya hua. Then yesterday, within a matter of hours, it was all bought. Is there some credibility to that argument that over-financialization, too much of savings going into the stock market is a problem? Do you see that as a problem?
Of course, a blind man can also see that. You see, earlier, must have told on your channel also, earlier we used to talk about in earlier days, the roti, kapda or makan. Then it switched to roti, kapda, makan or data. Now it is roti, kapda, makan, data or shares. So now the stocks and shares, it has become a cult. And it is not earlier, it is even my peon, I am telling you, he is also investing, or he calls himself an investor. He is also trading into the market. So this has become a cult. So, there is no problem in being a cult. And as long as they are educated and they have some experience, if they are coming directly into this market and doing all this satta only, then it is not going to end well. Timing, nobody knows whether it is going to happen today or maybe it will happen after 6 months. But mind it, I am not saying that bull market is over. This bull market is going to last maybe for next 5-6 years more, But the way things are happening, SEBI certainly said SEBI is worried about it. And 2-3 days back also they said that all these fixed deposits and all going into stock market. So that is not stock market coming into a stock market. That doesn't mean that it's coming for investments. That's coming for future and option. So it's a cause of worry.
So, Mr. Kedia, the point is, my simple question is that money that is coming in, let's say via mutual funds, forget FNO for a minute, mutual fund money coming in, investors really wanting to invest, so much money coming in on a monthly basis. Are you worried about a bubble? Too much domestic liquidity? That's my question.
What is too much liquidity? 20,000 crore a month? Is it huge money compared to whatever $4.5 trillion or whatever our market cap is? That's a small sum. Ultimately, I had told this thing to Prashant, I remember, that forget about the 20,000 crore a month. Ultimately, it will come 20,000 crore a week and later on 20,000 crore a day on a daily basis. So there I do not have any dispute. Money coming to mutual fund, I do not have any dispute. Money coming to future and option, that scares me.
Hi, Mr. Kedia. Good afternoon, and good to see you. And I like the hangover, and the happy hours example. Quite an interesting one over there. And you seem pretty okay. You're saying that some restrictions, some curbs on this trading mentality is called for. So we get that point. Let's get to some sectors, some themes that you like as well, even from these levels. As you mentioned, the bull market is well and truly on. We still have a few years in store, and there will be sectors and themes that will do well. So give us a couple.
No, same as before, because forget about this budget and all. Whatever policy has been laid down by this government, I think those policy will be supported, and that thing will go on. For example, like I like infrastructure story. I think 11 lakh crore, 11.11 lakh crore has been earmarked. What they in the interim budget they have maintained that. And again, we are going to have a budget 6 months later also again. So I think infrastructure should do well. And as I believe that India has the biggest problem India is facing is unemployment. We need 80 lakh new jobs every year. And plus the people who are leaving the old jobs also need replacement. So manufacturing sector can, to some extent.
Mr. Kedia, I think we have lost you. I think, Mr. Kedia, we'll just come back to you and fix that audio. For the time being, I think we'll reconnect with Mr. Kedia. Let's take stock about the markets as we reconnect with Mr. Kedia. The Nifty bank, that's trying to pull back, and it's pulled back considerably actually from the low point of the day. But I think the Nifty Financial Services Index, which houses some of these insurance companies, that's staging a better, pullback, because you have the insurance companies that are in there and the other ones as well. So that's cut its losses considerably from the low point of the day. SBI Life now at the high point of the day. HDFC Life as well moving higher, and Big Boy Reliance as well has moved up. I think Mr. Kedia is back with us. Yes, sir. Please go ahead. We lost that audio for a bit.
Yeah, okay. So I was saying, the sectors which has been doing well earlier, are where the government is focusing, all those sectors will do well. We cannot imagine in India, we cannot imagine a $10 trillion or $30 trillion economy without infrastructure. So I think infrastructure companies should do well. And as I said, that I always have one worry that India needs 70 lakh, new jobs every year. And plus people who are leaving the job also need a replacement. So manufacturing sector can, to some extent, take care of that sector, that issue, that problem of unemployment. So manufacturing should do well. And besides all these things like power or maybe solar and tourism, where government is focusing and has mentioned many times, I think all these things will do well.
I was just looking at what you told us. I think you were with us on the 9th of July, not very far back. And your exact quote was, personally, I think government will tinker with long-term capital gains tax, either rate or tenure. Yeah. So,
both happened.
Both have happened. So, absolutely. And by the way, you talked about infrastructure. One of our viewers have written in and requesting us to please ask you about Home Infra. I think one of your investments. But I think you've given us a sense of the infra sector. Anything you want to add there?
No. It's difficult to say. Let me tell you, I may sell also my shares maybe tomorrow or after this interview is over. So I am bullish on infrastructure theme. Now you have to select shares. Madhuri ma'am has asked me not to mention a name on TV and all. So CV chairperson, I mean to say, ask me in the sense of money. So I don't want to get into shares and all, but I am bullish on infrastructure stocks. So they should do well, Prashant.
No, absolutely. And not asking you to comment on stocks at all. Don't do that. But any other sort of broad themes you want to touch upon where do you see a good runway for growth overall, without naming any stocks?
No, you see, earlier, whatever stocks, about whatever shares I was bullish on, I am still bullish. On the only thing is this, that I find this market is really going through a hangover phase. So I don't want to invest in this market. I am just, you can call me, I am just cheerleader or fence sitter. I am just watching this market. I don't want to invest in this market because of this, whatever the kind of, euphoria happening in this market, mainly in future and option. So I am little conservative.
All right. Vijay ji, apart from the FNO euphoria, speculation, all these issues, is there anything else that worries you? I'll tell you one piece of debate that's kind of really become center stage since we last spoke, and that is banks. Now, we always thought that banks were the darlings of all foreign investors. Whenever foreigners will come, they'll buy banks. Now, there are questions to that thesis, at least in the near term. So, I don't know, is that a point of concern? Any other concern that you see?
I don't know. I do not have any concern. The biggest concern I have in this market is the retail participation. Again, I'm saying I'm not against them, but they should be educated and they should have some experience. Because I know one thing I would like to share with you. One day I was thinking, there's these traders, actually, these traders are like monkeys, and these investors are like donkeys. So I'm a donkey, so I don't mind buying shares and just stay like a donkey instead of doing all these things. So I'm little worried about this, about whatever happening. So this is what is my take.
Mr. Kedia, budget को लेके कुछ गुनगुनाना चाहेंगे?
नहीं,
Would you like
बजट में तो नहीं, अभी सब लोग ऐसा बोल रहे हैं. तो मैं उनके लिए बोल देता हूँ कि दिल ऐसा किसी ने मेरा तोड़ा, मानुस बना के छोड़ा. For people, I'm not worried about it, यार. Prashant, let me tell you, yaar, I was reading somewhere, 2.2% adult population in India are income taxpayers. 2.2% adult population in India are taxpayers, compared to 80% in France and 50% in USA and 60% in Germany and Britain and all, So we don't want to compare ourselves about all these developed countries and all, but we want to become a developed country. So unless somebody will have to pay tax now. If I can pay taxes and I don't want to pay, you cannot afford, you do not have income to pay taxes, so you don't want to pay. So ultimately, how this country will run? So forget about this budget. I think this budget it's a wonderful budget. It's a very good budget. Whatever they could have done, they did it. And the themes, whatever has been doing good, will keep on doing good.
चलिए वो सुन के आए भरेंगे कुछ लोग, but 2% number is correct, but the issue is the 2% is taxed quite a bit. I think that is the issue. So we got to sort of widen the tax base, etc. as well. But that's another sort of conversation altogether. But thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Kedia, great to have you with us here. Thank you very much for joining us as always. Thank you.